Hey there and welcome. My name is Aaron Browning, and I am so excited to spend the next 15 minutes or so with you as we help walk you through the discovery process to determine if solar even makes sense for you and for your home. I want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect today, and then we'll jump right in. We're going to start with what I call a needs analysis, just so I can get to know a little bit more about you and what you're potentially looking to accomplish by going solar. We'll talk about how solar works. I often joke with our clients that you'll have a PhD in solar by the time we wrap up today, but rest assured, it's very easy. If I'm able to understand it, truly anybody can. And then we'll talk about how our company Powur, quite humbly, is the best option for you going forward. And then we're going to end on the best part, in my opinion, which is the dynamic proposal. That's the next step in this process to where you'll actually see your beautiful home with the panels. You'll be able to see a true cost savings report so that ultimately you can decide whether or not going solar makes sense for you. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. As I mentioned, with the needs analysis, one of the very first steps that we do is obtain a utility bill from you. We want to make sure that we're building a system that mirrors your lifestyle. But it's also really important to build a system that is future proofed, if you will, meaning that is going to grow with you over the next several years. And a few examples of that are, do you plan on getting an electric vehicle, say in the next 1, 3, maybe 5 years? If so, and you are like most of our clients, you want the option to be able to charge that for free at home. We want to make sure we build that growth into the proposal. A few other examples are my actual primary residence here in Northern Virginia. We have plans on getting a hot tub and a pool in the next 3 years. So I wanted to make sure we incorporated that growth into our solar system design, which is really important. The worst thing that could happen would be you build a system just for today in mind. 5 years later, you're calling me down the road to potentially add panels, to add a battery that you hadn't thought about prior to this. And that's part of the reason when we meet, we really want to spend a few minutes digging on this to make sure, once again, we have the end in mind. Little bit about me, and then we'll jump right in. I've been in the real estate and housing industry for over a decade. I got started with solar several years ago. Really, it was right around 2020, right when COVID was roaring its ugly head. I had so many of our past clients and customers asking questions about solar, about going green, about charging EVs at home. And every time I sent a referral to a solar company, it blew up. It backfired. The ball was dropped, calls weren't made, and the pricing was awful. And I felt like I was letting our clients and customers, friends, and family down. So I decided to become a partner in a company called Powur. I am one of the owners in our amazing company. We wanted to bring it in house. We wanted to be able to control that experience for our customers and to be able to deliver the best pricing that's ever been done in solar before. I always like to remind our customers, being that I'm an owner in our company, I'm able to make decisions with our client for our clients on the fly. We have to run up the totem pole, if you will. And that freedom and flexibility is something that our customers really have grown to appreciate. So, one question I get all the time is, why are so many customers switching to solar? Little fun fact for you: we have a new customer going solar every single minute of every single day, 7 days a week. How amazing is that? And we've really divided this growth into four main buckets that we'll take a deep dive on today. The first being to control your energy cost. For the first time ever, in my opinion, customers are now starting to feel it. They're seeing the rate hikes month after month and year after year. Number two, adds value to your home. I'll wear my real estate hat for a second, but this is huge. This is the only home improvement I can recommend to a homeowner that brings back a positive ROI day one. Day one, the system is installed. Number three, make a difference in the world. In my humble opinion, this is the largest thing we can do as individuals to do right by Mother Earth. And then number four, and arguably the most important, if we're both being transparent with each other today, and that's to leverage the insane federal tax credits that are at play. And also, depending on the state you live in, there are some incredible state incentives as well. As I mentioned, since 2003, national electricity prices have nearly doubled. That's crazy. Historically, they have gone up between 4 and 6% year after year. Unfortunately, we are in what's known as a hyperinflation time period that many are forecasting for the next 4 to 6 years. And I mention that not to be doom and gloom, but to let you know that across this country, most of our utility prices are going up between 14 and 16%, meaning they would have nearly doubled in 3 years. So if someone is paying $200 now, you could anticipate paying close to 400, maybe even more in the next 3 years. And that alarming stat that many homeowners like yourself are facing is causing a lot of them to raise their hand for more information, to really lean in to see if solar makes sense for them and for their households. You may recall that we asked for a copy of your utility bill. It wasn't so that we could get nosy and see what lights you like to leave on during the day and or at night. We wanted to make sure that we built a system that mirrors your lifestyle. And when we wrap up on that dynamic proposal, we're going to show you a breakdown of where your energy costs are going and how solar could potentially help you with that as well. I want to explain how solar works because this is really important. I'm going to give a quick bird's eye view of it. Rest assured that it is simple. It's a technology that has been around for decades, over 40 years to be exact. What happens next is typically we'll install solar panels on someone's roof. Yes, we can do a ground mount as well, but for this example, in this diagram, we're going to focus on the roof mount. These panels have little squares called cells. These cells absorb UV light. So, yes, it works on cloudy days, even rainy days. It works across all scenarios. The energy that comes in through these cells unfortunately enters the home as DC current, which none of our homes are equipped to handle and or use. So the next thing we do is we're going to install an inverter. It's typically a little white box about a foot, foot and a half by foot and a half. Most of the time we'll go next to the electric meter on the side or the back of the property. And this inverter has one job. It's to convert DC energy into AC current, which is what all of our homes use right now and in the future. The next thing we want to do is we want to rip off the old analog meter that has a wheel that spins and spins. Every time it spins, that's how the electric company bills us, by the way. And the reason we do this is in a perfectly built system, we want that solar system to overproduce energy during the day when the sun is out. And so this excess energy that you can't consume right then throughout the day goes through that smart meter that allows energy to go from your house to the grid for the first time ever, and then from the grid back to your home. We call it bidirectional. It goes both ways. And this is with intention. That excess energy that's built during the day goes through that meter into the grid, and your electric company is going to issue you a credit for that electricity that you loaned them. So that at night, when the sun is no longer out, instead of you renting electricity, you're able to pull back those credits that you loaned the electric company earlier that day, earlier that week, perhaps and even in the previous month. It's a really cool process called net metering. Hopefully that makes sense. Once again, it's almost as close to maintenance free as one can get. There's no moving parts, no engines, no oil changes or anything like that. Truly maintenance free. The next thing I want to touch on is our federal tax credit, which I believe is why most people are going solar right now. The federal government nailed it with this new bill. It is a 30% tax credit, meaning whatever the total cost of the system is, including panels, inverters, maybe even a battery, if that makes sense for you and your family, you're going to get a 30% tax credit. So, for argument's sake, if you had a $10,000 solar tax credit that you were getting when you file your taxes next year, as long as you paid in more than $10,000 in federal taxes, you are going to get a refund back for $10,000 up to that tax credit. Some of you might be thinking, I have a super aggressive CPA. Maybe I write off a lot of expenses. Maybe I had a smaller tax liability that year. Here's where the government nailed it with this bill. You can only get back what you paid in via taxes up to the max amount for this credit. So in that previous example, a $10,000 solar credit, let's say you only paid in $5,000 in federal taxes this year. That means you'll get back a $5,000 check, which is great. But rest assured that extra 5,000 that you couldn't just quite get from the full 10 rolls over to the following year. How amazing is that? As long as this bill is in place and they're forecasting it for the next 10 years, you'll have 10 years to consume whatever that amount was for your federal tax credit. Once again, an amazing, amazing add on. Who doesn't like tens of thousands of dollars coming back your way as an added benefit of going solar, which is just incredible. So the question I get more than any other, and it's most likely due to my extensive background as a real estate agent and team owner across the country, is what happens to my home if I sell it after going solar? And this is an important question. According to NREL and backed by the US Department of Energy, homes that have solar installed sell 20% faster and for 4 to 6% more. Like, how amazing is that? The speed alone, having your property sell 20% faster is an absolute game changer. But the fact you're also getting a 4 to 6% equity bump added as well is huge. And so if you go to sell your home and you have financing in place, oh, by the way, 90% of our customers do utilize our financing, myself included. They're all 0% down loan programs, which is amazing. It makes it really hard not to use someone else's money when it costs you zero out of pocket. But the way that would work, if you have a loan in place and you go to sell your home, you have two options. Option one is you could use a small percentage of that 4 to 6% equity that solar gave you being installed, pay off the system and be done with it, and transfer a paid off system over to the new home buyer. That would be really nice of you. However, I don't recommend it. What I recommend as a solar professional is that you would hire an agent with some sort of green designation, or perhaps you do it yourself, and you market your home as having a fixed energy cost. So let's say your solar payment was $200 a month. And when you go to sell your home in 10 years, the rest of your neighborhood is paying five, six, or $700 a month in electricity. You now look like the deal of the year being locked in at 200. And I mentioned that all of our loans are assumable, meaning you can now transfer over the life of that loan to the new home buyer. And what this allows for you is to keep the full 4 to 6% equity and not have to share it. How amazing is that? So obviously, renewable energy is the fastest growing sector in the country, if not the world. There are mom and pop solar companies entering the scene every single day. We would be honored if you decided to partner with us. I won't bore you with all of our awards or accolades, but there are three I want to touch on quickly. One is we've already done more than 11,000 successful residential installations. That is a massive number, my friends. We are the fastest growing solar company in North America. In fact, we were just awarded last year on the Inc. 5000 list. We were the 43rd fastest growing company out of all companies. So not only are we dominating solar, but quite frankly, we're dominating every other company in this country as well. But the stat I'm most proud to share with you is we have a 5-star rating on Yelp and A plus certified by the Better Business Bureau. And you might be thinking, why are you so proud of that one? Quite frankly, when you are dealing with solar and real estate, you are in the construction business. When you are in construction, things show up that you might not have accounted for. It's the nature of the beast. And to be able to do more than 11,000 construction jobs and still maintain 5 stars and A plus is just something that our team is super proud of. And I hope you are as well. This slide, outside of the dynamic proposal that has your home on it, is going to be the most important slide I show you. At least I believe so. And this is what separates us from the competition. So, any other solar company that you might talk to, whether they knocked on your door, they cold called you, they showed up on your house, or they hopped on a nifty Zoom like we're going to do, they're going to have a relationship with one solar panel company, meaning they can only show you one solar panel product. Therefore, that product has to walk on water and glow in the dark. I believe in the good in everybody, so I want to believe that they're not being malicious with that. It's just that they only have one product to sell you, so they have to lift that product up, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Depending on the size of that solar company, they might have a relationship with one loan option for you, one lender. Many won't even have that. And they'll say to you, are you sure you don't have cash? Could we take out a home equity line? Do you belong to a credit union? Our company is very different. We are not a solar company. We are a solar brokerage, the only company running this model. And how this works in your benefit, we take our clients' information, we add it to our proprietary technology software that no other company has access to. This allows for every single top tier solar panel manufacturer to bid on our clients' jobs. Anytime you have companies fighting for your business, it drives prices down. This allows us to give wholesale pricing to our customers that's never been done in the solar space. This, quite frankly, is the reason for our growth and the reason we've become the fastest growing solar company in this country. We also have over 240 different loan options for our clients as well. Yes, that is overkill. But we do have clients that want to pay it off in 5 years and 10 years. We have other clients like myself, because there's no prepayment penalty, are fine stretching it out 25 years. And so we're able to not only build your system with you for you, piece it together with different manufacturers, different panels, but we can figure out the financing that makes sense for you and your family's goals. How amazing is that? We also offer a 30-year bumper to bumper warranty, the only company to offer. This is a true bumper to bumper. There is no fine print, no deductible, nothing like that. God forbid something's not working 29 years from today. You push a button on the app or you go old school like me and call the company. They'll send somebody out for free to either repair or replace it. Full transparency, we were outsourcing this like every other company that you may or may not talk to. Meaning, God forbid something went wrong, you had to call the manufacturer of the panel or the inverter and handle the warranty claim through them. We were getting negative feedback from our clients. They built the relationship with us, and yet we were outsourcing it to a third party like every other company. It didn't work for us. So we actually bought the company. We are the only solar company that owns the warranty company behind us. We put our name, our brand, more importantly, our capital behind it. We wanted to control that experience for you, the customer, so that we can ensure the same level of customer service that you get with us when going solar. We also have an ambassador program that gets me really excited. You're going to see me smiling from ear to ear on this one. It's 100% free to join. We set up every one of our customers on this program. You'll get an app on your phone. And what this does is anytime you come across anybody asking questions about going solar, about going green, about charging an EV at home, how much money are you saving? You add whatever contact information you collected to this app. It goes directly to us in real time. Now we get to work for you. Every time we take one of those referrals to install, our company is going to gift you $1,000. How amazing is that? There's no cap, meaning you can get 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 this month or the next month. You can also use that money for whatever you want. I want to share one quick story with you to paint a picture of how big this program can get. I met a lady last July at church in Maryland. She was an older lady, and I say that with love and respect. When she hopped on a Zoom with me to go over her dynamic proposal, I don't think she asked two questions. She was very respectful, but she sat there very quiet. Of course, she signed up. The numbers made sense, as it does for everyone. But I share this because I had zero expectation for her in the ambassador program, meaning she wasn't very outgoing. That first month, she sent over 31 ambassador referrals. When I called her up, I said, "Ma'am, at the risk of sounding rude and disrespectful, that's not my intention, but I did not see this coming. What did you do?" And she goes, "Son," she always called me that, God bless her. She said, "You never told me that when you go solar, it's like having a mini sign on your house. I can't walk the dog, go garden, have people over for a barbecue without someone asking me how much money I'm saving. What are the steps? Who do I talk to?" I upload their information into the app and you guys paid me. She paid off her system in 47 days, by the way. How amazing is that? All through our ambassador program. So we keep this really simple. There's no sales tactic. We're not going to hunt you down or anything like that. We keep it really simple here. You have two options. Option one, stick with your current utility company. Obviously, you know the importance of ownership. Otherwise, you wouldn't own your home. You know what it can do for wealth building for you and or your family. Yet we're taught to rent electricity. No longer, my friends. It adds zero value to your home. It's a liability. Option two, what I call the smart choice, go solar. We have zero out of pocket loan options. We have long term savings that you cannot deny. Once the system is paid off, you're done paying for electricity forever, while everyone else in your neighborhood will continue to pay that bill for the rest of their lives. You have control and predictability. I had a client yesterday say, "Aaron, I'm now inflation proof." How amazing is that? And then my favorite, and yes, I'm biased, it adds 4 to 6% equity to your home the day the system is installed. So I know it's a very obvious question, but by now, which option do you believe is a better fit for you and or your family? Option one or option two? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And that's what every one of our customers says. So the next step in the process is simply get back to us. Reply back to the email, text, phone call, whatever you prefer. Let us know that you'd like to schedule a one on one Zoom consultation where we can go over your dynamic proposal. That's where we'll be able to build your system with you for you. Really important. No other solar company can do that. We'll figure out the financing if that's important as well. But most importantly, you're going to be able to see a true cost savings report to see how much money you're saving by going solar. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to hearing back from you shortly. Take care. We'll talk soon.